Sure. The two options that I know of are through the ANCC and then also through AONE, American Organization of Nurse Executives. And I have mine currently through ANCC because they didn't have the AONE one when I first got my certification. But AONE, as far as I know, they're both really good certifications. And a little bit of history that I'm aware of is that AONE decided to develop their own nurse executive certification because they felt at the time that ANCC was, their questions and their certification might have been a little outdated. So they decided to develop their own. Now, I don't know if that was true or not, but that certainly was the feeling. But I do know that in itself has created a little bit of friendly competition because now ANCC has updated their certification and they've gone out, changed their questions, done a lot of field testing, those kinds of things to really, so they've kind of raised, the AONE helped to raise the bar, I believe, for ANCC. Again, I believe they're both very credible certifications. So either one I think would be acceptable for a nurse executive to pursue.
Great. So a little bit, you touched on, I want to talk a little bit about your relationship with ACNL and AONE and how that came to be, so because you have a great insight into professional organizations. So what can you tell us about that?
Well, first of all, let me just say I firmly believe in belonging to your professional organizations. And again, throughout my career, I've done that. As a critical care nurse, I was a member of association, AACN, so American Association of Critical Care Nurses, very involved in that. When I went back to school for my master's degree, my BSN, MSN, I also became a member of Sigma Theta Tau and have been a member of that organization for a long time. But I also have been involved in ACNL, Association of California Nurse Leaders, for many, many years as well, and which is a chapter of AONE. And so it's really great. And ACNL is one of the biggest chapters of AONE and a very active chapter. In ACNL, I've been involved in many of the committees, working on the environment of practice, working on health policy, working on bylaws, nominating committee, a lot of different committees. I've sat on the board for ACNL, and I've also been president of ACNL in 2009. And as president of ACNL, had lots of opportunities to do many different things and to speak in different places. But one of the really, I think, important things for being president of ACNL is that I had the opportunity, and every president has this opportunity, we all do, it's not just an opportunity, to sit on, to sit on the board of CHA, California Hospital Association, as a voting member. So we as nurses, we're representing nurse leaders in California, are sitting around the table, large, huge, gigantic table with the CEOs of systems and hospitals within the state of California, and actually have, like I say, a voice as a voting member. And California Hospital Association is very much an advocate and very involved in legislation in California. ACNL is a 501c3 and we can't lobby, but CHA can, so they certainly could. They are the voice of nurses as well as hospitals and CEOs in California, nurse leaders in California. So anyway, very, very well-connected organization.
Talk a little bit about what ACNL is doing with the IOM report and the future of nursing, because they have a lot of work going on with that.
Well, sure. They're very involved in that and are very involved in all that. There's various work groups in the state of California that have been developed around the recommendations that came out of the IOM Future of Nursing report. And so again, ACNL members are very involved on all of those different task forces and work groups to make sure that those initiatives are moving forward in California. Absolutely. I actually had the opportunity to testify when the report was being developed, because as president of ACNL, I had the opportunity to testify in support of one of the recommendations that ACNL was making at the time around residency and nursing practice. So
I think as a nurse, we're all going to be able to look back and say we were on the forefront of something really big.
Yes.
And you can be very proud of your involvement in that. It was an amazing time. Continues to be. As the chief nursing officer of this organization, and I know that there is a current journey towards nursing excellence and a work towards magnet designation. Can you tell everybody where we are with that and how you feel a push towards certifying our nurses will help benefit that journey?
Absolutely. Well, we're still very early in our journey for magnet. As everybody knows, it certainly takes a while to achieve magnet designation. We're very excited about it. We're working towards it. We've actually just created our magnet steering committee around the various components of magnet, and really hope to get that work streamlined and going forward really quickly now. One of the things we've already in the past, I think, year, or maybe 2 years ago, we probably really started a push towards certification, and really have tried to ramp that up by encouraging all of our nursing staff to become certified. We've encouraged them too to go back and get their get their degrees as well, those who don't have it. But we've started just by having the managers, charge nurses, everybody encouraging staff nurses to go back and get their certifications. We intend to really ramp that up as we continue our magnet journey. And and one of my goals is to have the study programs. I'm losing the word there, but in order to like
the preparation courses.
Prep courses, that's the word, here on site, so that we can have better access for our nursing staff to be able to get certified.
Right.
So we make it a little easier than we can for them. Then we'll certainly have people. I think there's a lot of people who want to do it.
do it too.
It's just the access to the prep classes. We already give a bonus, a small bonus annually for people who are certified, for our nurses who are certified. So and we're looking towards developing a professional advancement model, or old clinical ladder, where certification will be part of that too. So we have lots of plans. I mean, I would love to be able to say 80% of our nurses are certified. I think right now it's quite a bit less than that, but I think we have some momentum, and we're moving forward in getting our nurses to want to achieve
that. Some of the literature has showed that part of the benefit of this, that nurses perceive anyway, is the public recognition for it. Right. So some of the efforts they've talked about, and I know there's been some discussion about whether or not we could include them on badges. People really want to see that, putting them up in the unit so that the patients can see that. I saw one article about a hospital who actually has a congratulations day once a year where they bring all their certified nurses in and have a kind of a celebration for them. Things like that, you think that we could really might help people to feel special.
Well, even on your unit where you have the board, where you have the all of
the
your
plaques,
nurses, the plaques, where you have all of your certified nurses on that plaque, and they love that. So,
they do, because I'm not sure that nursing is one of those selfless fields, and you really want some kind of recognition, and I think this is a great way to do it.
Right.
We all feel like that for sure.
Absolutely.
So finally, how would nurses in this program, like I said, are going towards a nursing administration profession. So what tips would you give them, or advice would you give them for preparing for the test as you took it? And I guess I have two, but I'd love to hear your feel for what they could do to get themselves ready for that.
I think most of you probably know more than you think you know. That's kind of what I found. And I would recommend the prep course. I think it was very helpful for me, again, in helping me to recognize what I already knew, and to find out those, and to study a little bit harder in those areas where I needed to beef up a little bit. So I think that's important. You certainly, I think, it can go on the website and explore onto the ANCC website. They've got some test questions that you can certainly take. And then, like I say, I think the prep course. I took the actual in the seat in front of an instructor prep course, but I know there's online ones as well. So, and I think either one is just fine.
I actually did one that was conference calls, and that was kind of easy too, because you could do a lot of things.
Right.
So ANCC offers 2 levels of nurse executive certification, one for nurses who are bachelor's prepared, which is an EBC, and one for master's prepared nurses, NEABC. So do you think that the master's training that you had prepared you with that academic background to take this test?
Well, great question. I because I took my master's program
So
so
long ago, I know,
I
it was a fair
graduated in
question.
1992. It's hard for me to kind of make that connection. I feel like it was a lot more of my experience in the executive nurse executive level that prepared me for most of those questions. But there are a lot of things in your program, I'm sure, that have to do, and especially if it's a nursing administration, that probably have to do a lot with what the questions that will be asked. So I would say yes, it probably would
I
help.
think it does. I know when I took my test, 3 years ago, there was a lot of focus on shared governance and things from the unit perspective. So I think that we've certainly studied a lot of that in this program. So I think that would help. Any parting comments that you would like to make to these future graduates? And I've counted down 31 days.
Wow, well, congratulations on your almost there, 31 days. That's great. And I hope this information was helpful to you, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. I really want to thank Kathy for helping us out and sharing your wisdom and your expertise in this area. And we appreciate that and hope all of you go work on your certification. We're big proponents. And we want to thank you and wish you luck on your magnet journey.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.